MFA is supposed to make stolen passwords harder to use, but that protection depends on how it's set up. This week, we're looking at a Microsoft 365 password spraying campaign that put those settings to the test more than 81 million times as we sit down and sync up with Rocket IT's weekly technology update. Hello everyone, I'm Chris Swinson, Technology Insider at Rocket IT, and welcome to Sync Up, your home for the latest tech news. Researchers at the cybersecurity company Huntress observed a large password spraying campaign targeting Microsoft 365 accounts between June 12th and June 26th of 2026. Now, password spraying is a little different from someone repeatedly trying to break into one account. Instead, attackers take a commonly used password, or passwords that have already been exposed in previous breaches, and test them across a large number of accounts. The idea is simple. Rather than making hundreds of attempts against one person and setting off obvious alerts, attackers spread those attempts across many users and organizations. In this case, the attackers appear to be using usernames and password combinations that have been exposed before but were never changed. Now, you might think multi-factor authentication would keep those accounts secure even if the login credentials were stolen. But there's a catch. Attackers weren't just trying to sign in through a normal Microsoft 365 login page, they attempted to authenticate through Microsoft Azure's command line interface, which is a tool typically used by administrators to manage cloud resources. That matters because in some environments, this specific sign-in path was not covered by the organization's multi-factor authentication settings. Huntress found that some affected organizations did have MFA turned on, but only for certain users, certain applications, or certain locations. Others had policies sitting in report-only mode, which means the rule could observe what was happening, but it wouldn't actually block or challenge the sign-in. So, for someone trying to protect their account or business, this story is less about whether or not MFA should be enabled, and more about whether it's protecting the right area of your environment. For many of us, once MFA is enabled, it's easy to assume the job is done. But attackers are often looking for gaps that get missed. The account that still has an old password, the user that's not included in the policy, the app that wasn't covered, or the setting that was configured but never really enforced. Even though most of the 81 million login attempts failed, the campaign still led to confirmed account compromises. And at that scale, attackers don't really need a high success rate, they just need a few openings. For Microsoft 365 users, this is a good reminder to use strong, unique passwords and change those that may have been exposed in the past. It also is worth paying attention to unexpected sign-in alerts, MFA prompts, or account activity that doesn't look familiar. For organizations, the bigger takeaway is to review how account security is actually configured. MFA and conditional access are powerful tools, but they work best when they are applied broadly, enforced properly, and checked regularly as threats change. This is where having the right IT partner matters. Rocket IT helps businesses strengthen Microsoft 365 environments by reviewing account security settings, identifying configuration gaps, and making sure protections like MFA and conditional access are doing what they're supposed to do. For help, reach out using the link in this video's description. And to stay up to date on trending technology news, hit that subscribe button and the bell to catch us on next week's episode of Sync Up with Rocket IT.